two-station valve decoder. Next, we want to talk about the two-station valve decoder, or what I call the dual decoder, and this comes with all of the same talking points as the single-station valve decoder, where again every station will need to be accounted for by a decoder, and the decoders are proprietary, so for a WeatherTrack controller you'll need the WeatherTrack decoders, and the two-station valve decoder can be ordered pre-programmed, or with the station numbers or station addresses already programmed onto the decoder. The key difference between a two-station valve decoder and a single-station valve decoder is that the two-station valve decoder will actually operate two valves in the field. And the advantages here are twofold. First, from an economic standpoint, a dual valve decoder costs slightly less than two single-station decoders. In addition, by operating multiple valves on a single decoder, we limit the number of cuts that we make into the two-wire path, and therefore limit the potential points of failure on the system. Now let's have a quick look at the two-valve decoder. That is a single decoder that will operate two stations in the field. Part number WT2W-H20-2VD. And again, the installation instructions are printed on the back. Use adequate care when installing the dual valve decoder on the two-wire path. And then this one decoder gets wired to two valves in the field. So you'll see the installation instructions and the wiring diagram, and then warning about using the proper wire nuts or the 3M DBRY-6s that come inside the package. So we see what's inside here. And again, you see the decoder comes with proper wire connections for every wire on the device. And then you'll see the decoder, and you'll see the LED diagnostics and the black and red wires that wire to the two-wire path, and the white, which is the common, the orange and the yellow wires that are coming off of the decoder that go to the two valves in the field. A dual valve decoder is assigned the same way a single valve decoder is assigned. However, when assigning a dual valve decoder, the stations will automatically assign in order of the next two stations in sequence. So when programming a dual valve decoder, the first thing we do is plug the decoder into the terminal located on the mini chassis. Again, you'll see the red and black valve wire terminals on the station program tool on the valve wire terminal board. Then once everything is plugged in, you'll hit setup, and then the forward arrow until you get to setup 15, where you'll see configure H202 wire. Then you'll hit the plus or minus until the screen says program decoders. Then you'll press select. Then you'll press the star button to assign the stations to the decoder. Then use the plus or minus buttons to assign the first station in sequence. Remember that the second station on the dual valve decoder will automatically be the next station in sequence. So by assigning the first station, you're assigning both station numbers. Then you'll hit star, and you'll see in the upper right hand corner the station addresses for both the first and the second valve on that station decoder. After the first press of the star button, you'll be able to adjust the power level on the decoder. Again, the default is low, and then press the star button again to configure that decoder, at which point you get that programming successful message, and you see that station 3 will use the orange wire on the decoder, and station 4 will use the yellow wire on the decoder as the hot wire that connects to the field valve. Then remember to label the decoder and unplug it from the station program terminal. And just like with the single station decoder, with the dual decoder, labeling is key because we want to avoid duplicate decoders programmed to the same station. So keeping your stations straight, even on dual decoders, is an important part of the process. Also, you can order dual decoders pre-programmed from the factory. But if you do this, you want to be very specific while you're ordering and identify which two stations you want the dual decoder to share. So we can be sure to format your decoders correctly to help achieve the goal of saving you time in the field when you're installing.